Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I have a great adventure to share with you today. I'm still down in the Sonoran Desert and I went to a store called Big Lots. We don't have Big Lots in Alaska. I've seen them before, but it's not a store I've ever shopped at, and I wasn't sure if I could find some good things to add to my prepping supplies. So today when I was driving past one, I thought I'm going to pull in and see what they have, and boy was I glad that I did. They had some surprisingly wonderful finds that are going to be great for the prepper pantry. When I walked around Big Lots, nearly all of the shelves were full. They had a few gaps, but the store was full of merchandise. No matter what store you shop at, make sure that you check the expiration dates, the best by, sell by, use by dates on the food, because it definitely matters. I looked at a can of milk and it expires in less than 30 days, so that would not be something you'd want to add to your prepper pantry. Most of the foods were very fresh. The dates were 2023, 2024. I was very pleased with the dates on the items that I did choose. They had a variety of canned meats, different prices. There were sardines, corned beef, original Spam, and a variety of different kind of jerkies. You can see that the prices are rising on things like gravy mix, manwich, Chef Boyardee, and canned tamales. Those are foods that we normally used to find for $1 a can all the time, and you can see that sometimes you can still find them for $1, but the price has been going up so many places. So if those are foods that you like to have in your pantry and you still want to stockpile some more, find them before they're gone at the $1 price and add them to your prepper pantry. The foods you buy on sale today can save you even more money in the future. If they start to become $1.50, $2, you will have saved some money eating those foods in the future. It can help you stretch your food dollars today and tomorrow. They had very little rice, very little flour, but amazingly, they had Bob's red mill, which are very top quality, high-end grain products that are from Oregon. I made a video a few months ago when I visited Bob's Red Mill in the Milwaukee, Oregon store at their headquarters, and I was so surprised to find these at Big Lots. I can hardly even find them at any grocery store where I live in Alaska, and these are very high-end products. My impression was that Big Lots was more of a discount store, that you would find things like the manwich sauce, cans of chili, more like you would find at the Dollar Tree or a discount store like that. I was very surprised to see the wonderful supply of top quality products from Bob's Red Mill. They had good prices on all of them, and what a selection. It was an unlikely find. They also had some top quality nut flours, all kinds of varieties. If you are gluten-free or you have special allergies or you're looking for special types of flours that you want for your dietary needs, I would never have thought to recommend that you shop at Big Lots, but I'm telling you to do that now. If you're looking for those items at reasonable prices, go to Big Lots and look through their small grocery section. They were very low on pasta. They had a few jars of pasta sauce. I also found a shelf of coconut flour. And look at the size of these coconut oils. These are huge jars of coconut oil. I don't use that much. I could never use up this amount before I think it might go rancid. If you enjoy using coconut oil and you could use a lot of it, go to Big Lots and look for one of these gigantic jars, or just buy it in a smaller container so that it's already sealed safely into a size that you could manageably use. Other items to look for your prepper pantry to get the nutrition that you want: they had greens powder, they had beets, which is a superfood powder, some green smoothie powders. They also had protein drinks and boxes of Cliff Bars, 6 bars for $6, which $1 a piece. That is a great price for Cliff Bars, and they had a nice selection of flavors. Cliff Bars are something that I like to have in my prepper pantry and my long-term food storage and my bug-out bag. And I did a video about them a few years ago that I had some that were several years expired, and they were just as good and fresh as when they were purchased originally. So I have great faith in Cliff Bars being able to last long past the date. So if Clif Bars are something you like, don't be afraid to stock up on some extra ones. You still need to rotate them, but don't be afraid to try them if they're past their date. They're probably still fresh and delicious and good to eat. What are the items that I bought at Big Lots today? Look at this huge jug of Himalayan salt. 5 pounds for $4, and it's already in a very sturdy airtight container. Salt can last nearly forever. It's a wonderful food to have with your prepper pantry. I've been buying the bags of it for $1 at Dollar Tree. This is an even better deal than the Dollar Tree where the salt is $1 a pound. This is 5 pounds for $4. Salt is a food that can last forever, but you still need to store it in a cool, dark, dry place. And dry is really important. I made a video a few years ago about some salt that absorbed all the moisture out at Granny Camp and it turned into a big solid brick. I'll put a link to that video if you want to see about what can happen to salt if you don't store it in an airtight container. I found a bottle of raw, unfiltered honey, which is a great buy at $6.79. They had smaller containers and larger ones, but this was the size and the amount of money that I felt that I could spend on honey today. When you're buying honey, make sure that it's raw, unfiltered, as close to natural as possible. If you have a source to buy it from a farmer, that's the best. But if you can't, try to buy as local as possible. And know that if you have allergies, one of the things that you can do is take a teaspoon of honey every day. The most locally sourced honey that you can find would work best for that. If you can find honey that was produced around where you live, that's going to help you fight off the allergies that are naturally occurring in your environment. They had some shampoos and conditioners that I like that were 30% bonus and they were only $5, and I buy these usually on Amazon. They're far more expensive, so I got 3 of those. Stock up on hygiene supplies just like other items. Prepping is lifestyle insurance. You want to ensure that your life goes as smoothly as possible and you have all of the things you need each day of your life. They had a variety of the Bear Creek soups for $3.99. There were a few other varieties, but the ones that I chose are the ones that my family likes to eat. I got the gumbo, cheddar broccoli, minestrone, and creamy potato. They also have one that's chili that I saw, but I didn't buy that simply because I have a lot of other chili recipes and chili ingredients. But these are wonderful. You can put these away in your prepper pantry, put them in an airtight container, and they will last for many years. I made a video about the Bear Creek soups a while ago on how to add other ingredients to them to make them fuller, bigger, better meals. I'll put a link to that video in case you're interested in the Bear Creek soups and you want to try them for yourself. They're inexpensive. They make about 8 servings. You just need to add water. Big Lots also had some Frontier soups by Anderson. They were only 4.5 ounces, tiny little packages for $5. They had broccoli cheese, chicken and rice, chicken noodle, but they're tiny little packages. And then if you look on the wrapper, if you read the directions, it says add the cheese, add the chicken. It doesn't even include the things that are on the label. Compared to the Bear Creek soups, they're just not a good deal. The Bear Creek soups are 10 and 11 ounces and they already include everything. Yes, you can add more if you want to, but they're already a bigger, better, more filling meal right from the get-go for less money. So if you can only pick up one package at a time, I would certainly choose the Bear Creek over the Frontier brand. If you look at this one package, it looks like it's just a handful of dry pasta, a handful of dry veggies, and maybe a few spices. You could easily put together that little mix for less than $1 from the food you have in your prepper pantry. So just because something looks convenient doesn't mean it's a good buy. You need to really think about the strategies of what you need to add to it and how many calories, how many meals, how much food you're actually getting in that pouch. I also found some of the Bear Creek pasta mixes. These are much harder to find in my opinion. I can't find them very often. I have one that's creamy cheddar and one that is creamy chicken. The Bear Creek pasta mixes at Big Lots for $2.29, so they were quite a bit less than the soup mixes and still a very good, delicious meal. Depending on where you live, you want to make sure that you store these as well as possible so pantry bugs or little critters can't chew on the packages. So whether you stuff them into a 5-gallon bucket or you load them into a plastic tote with a tight-fitting lid, the better you store them, the longer they'll last. Don't you just love the smell of fresh marshmallows? It wouldn't be holidays around my house without Rice Krispie treats, and they had fresh, delicious, soft, mini marshmallows for only $1. But they didn't have any Rice Krispies, so I have to go to another store to get Rice Krispies. You can actually store marshmallows into a clean glass jar and vacuum seal the air out of them, and it'll like expand them, they puff all up, and then they can last for many, many years, as long as you keep them airtight. When you just put them in the bag like this, they tend to get hard, or they even like get melted and they stick together and they're all stuck onto the plastic bag. And yes, you could still use those to make your Rice Krispie treats, but they're not exactly the top quality food that you're looking for when you go into your pantry for something to eat. Oh, marshmallows just smell so good. Big Lots had dried kiwi, which I've never seen before, and dried pineapple. And if you've seen my video about what happened in my pantry with pineapple, you can be sure that I was excited to see dried pineapple rather than a can of pineapple that I may never use again. I just don't know. I had too many problems with canned pineapple not lasting, and so I was excited to find dried pineapple. And I'm going to be very excited to try the dried kiwi. It's nice that you can see into the bottom of the package and see what it looks like. The kiwi was $1.99, and I think the pineapple was about the same price, and there's quite a bit in here. There's 6 ounces in the pineapple, 4 ounces in the kiwi. That's quite a bit, and it's ready to last in the pantry for a long time. These both have a date at the end of 2022. These can last in your pantry for quite a long time, but I'm going to try these and see if I want to go back and get more. I found Pepitas, which are shelled pumpkin seeds. I bought Pepitas before at Bob's Red Mill, and I can't imagine that this brand would be that different. So I'm excited to try it out. These are amazing. You can sprinkle them over salads. You can put them over soups and stews. You can sprinkle them into your quinoa bowls. Any kind of meal, if you want anything that you would add a little crunchy topping, you can add some nice, delicious pepitas or pumpkin seeds, and you get a lot of extra nutrition from them. They're very, very good. Turkey bites. I found some turkey jerky, which is like little dried up hot dogs. And the reason I was excited about this was I thought these are like smoked sausages that could last in my pantry for a few years. I thought these would be great with the Bear Creek gumbo. You want to add sausage to your gumbo and make it extra gumbo-ish. And it's hard to have sausages unless they're in your freezer. So this was a good find. I'm excited to combine these together and see if it can make the gumbo even better. And I suppose if you had a can of shrimp, that would be good in here too. So you can always keep jazzing them up, but you don't have to. You could use just this for a meal. But if you want to make it fuller, bigger, better, tastier, more nutritious, you can add a lot of other ingredients into it. Funfetti blue cake mixes. How exciting is that? I think it has to do with Hanukkah, because my understanding is blue is a color of Hanukkah, whereas red and green are Christmas colors. I could be mistaken, but that was what I was taught as a child. So that's why I think these are available this time of year. They're a beautiful color. It's nice to have a variety in your cake mixes and your frosting. This was $1.29, $1.60, and you have a nice full-size cake mix, a full-size frosting, and the extra sprinkles that go on top. There's a little boy in my family who's going to have a lot of fun making this with Granny. Cake mixes can't last forever. You need to pay attention to the date on them because the ingredients can actually mold and they can make you sick. I made a video about cake mixes and why you should not store them long past the date. It's best to follow nutritional guidelines and actual food safety guidelines when you're storing your food to make sure that you have a happy, healthy outcome. I also found some sprinkles that look like little eyeballs, so I thought my grandson would enjoy that too, and they were only $1.99. I found some organic coconut milk, and it's dated April 2023. They had quite a few cans of Campbell's Chunky Soup, but nearly all of it was chicken noodle. I don't know why that seems to be all that you can find these days, but I did find this one. sirloin burger with country vegetables, and that's what I like to buy, a variety that has meat and vegetables. I don't just want chicken noodle soup. I try to buy a variety of soups that have different kind of meat and vegetables in them. Then you can pour them over mashed potatoes. You can add some noodles. You can serve them over rice. You can turn a can of soup and as something and pour it over and turn it into a bigger, fuller meal that can feed more than just one person. So keep your eye out for a variety of soups. They're getting harder to find the variety, and this one was $1.79. This is the best buy that I found at Big Lots, a container of Tang for only $2. Tang is great because it supplies vitamin C. Your body can't store vitamin C. You need to have some in your body every day. It's something that you need, and that's why, for example, the sailors on Magellan's ship, when they got stranded at sea for 90-something days, and then they had nothing to eat, nothing fresh, and it actually affects your dental health, your gums. You can get actually sick from not having vitamin C. Plus, in an SHTF situation, if the water isn't necessarily as tasty as you would hope, you can add this in, you can get your vitamin C, and you can have a more enjoyable drink than just off-tasting water. Look at this tiny little jar of smoked sardines from Latvia. They're in oil, they're non-GMO, they are wild caught, and sardines can be delicious to add into lots of different recipes. I've even made a video on a couple of different ways that you can cook sardines if it's something that you like, or a way to stir it in with something else. If you have a little something extra to put in, maybe you don't know how to use it, get some sardines and try experimenting, or look over my videos on how to cook with sardines, and maybe it'll be something you want to add into your food storage. They're very nutritious, they're inexpensive, and they can keep for a very long time. Fish is a good source of the omega-3 fatty acids that we need to keep us as healthy as possible. And so every way that you can find to add nutritious fish into your diet, the healthier you can be. I bought some of the Bob's Red Mill muesli, which is like granola. My daughter loves it. She's coming for a visit, so this is something that she can enjoy for breakfast. And muesli or granola is also great just as a bowl of cereal. You can sprinkle it over ice cream. You can serve it over fruit. You can sprinkle it and make a cobbler. There's a lot of different ways to serve muesli. I also bought a bag of the 1-to-1 gluten-free flour from Bob's Red Mill. It was $8.50. I have a member of my family who has gluten sensitivities, and it's important to me that I have some foods that they could have to eat when they come to visit. The Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free flour is a great way to do that. It's simple because then you don't have to change your whole way of doing things. You don't have to have stockpiles of all kinds of special products. You can go ahead and do your baking and use this flour, and everyone can enjoy the same thing. You don't have to make a spectacle out of someone who can't enjoy the regular meals. I can use this to make banana bread. I can use it to make all of the different things that I would enjoy making, and I'll have that set aside for when they come to visit. These are the products that I got at Big Lots. I was so pleasantly surprised at all of the wonderful items that I bought for my prepper pantry, and I never thought I would ever find anywhere near this top quality of products and this much variety for addition to my supplies. So if you have a Big Lots near you, check it out. It's a store that I plan on visiting again. It'll help me make sure that I have the supplies that I need to make every day as smooth as possible and as enjoyable as possible, which is the whole point. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.